check. I just put some crazy around my neck.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Norris Daily coming at you with a new video today, and I'll be discussing my 5 reasons why Saquon Barkley is the number 1 running back in the NFL as of right now and will be Rookie of the Year. Let's get right into it. So for those of you who do not know, he is fresh out of Penn State University. He was drafted number 2 in the first round of this year's previous NFL draft. Let's take a look at his stats. So he has 209 attempts on 1,124 yards and 9 touchdowns out of a span of 13 games. Now, that may not be Rookie of the Year worthy, but if we take everything into consideration, he played for the Giants, and we all know they haven't had that strong of a run game. So since he's come in, they've actually made a bit more of a presence, and now they can build off of that next season and start spreading the field some more and catching defenders on their toes, and they'll become a more dangerous football team just off of what he's done this season. Now let's look at my first reason for saying that he's the number 1 running back in the NFL and the Rookie of the Year. So first up is speed. Now, his 40-yard dash time at the NFL Combine is officially clocked in at a 4.4 flat, and his 20-yard shuttle time is a 4.24. Now, for those who don't know about football, those times are extremely good, and especially for a running back of his size, it's crazy. Now, when you mention those numbers, you start talking about guys like Antonio Brown or Chris Johnson or Odell Beckham Jr., who we all know are extremely fast and extremely elusive players. So let's get into the second reason. So coming in at number 2 is strength. Now, watching this guy at Penn State and through this past season, it's been pretty much the same translation. If you don't wrap up and don't square up appropriately when he's approaching you, you will get ran over and ran through. This guy's strength is crazy for how young he is. Some running backs don't get this strong until their second or third season in the league. If you guys want to know his draft stats, at 225, he benched out 29 reps, which is actually very well for running backs. You know, it's not unheard of, but it does happen, and, you know, he's one of those people. So let's get into reason number 3. Now let's talk about his durability. Now, when I say this, I'm not meaning if he can stay healthy through a whole season continuously. I'm talking about his game-to-game performances, seeing if he's a guy that can take every snap and give you, you know, a good 5, 4, or even 6 yards a carry type of game, which this season, if you look at his stats, he actually averages 5.2 yards a carry, which is very well on a team like the Giants or as a running back in the NFL period, because we all know rushing is a very hard thing to do in the NFL. And if you can do that consistently throughout a whole year or even a whole game, you can open up the field for your receivers and you can start picking teams apart because they don't know how to stop you. So let's get into reason number 4. Vision. Now, if you're a fan of the game and a student of the game, you will understand why I say this. If you watch a Saquon Barkley highlight and really analyze the way he picks apart the field and hits his gaps, you'll understand he actually deserves a lot more credit than people give him, because majority of the holes that he hits come later in the play. Now, for any of you that have in-game experience, so if you played high school, college football, you'd understand being able to hit a gap late in a play is extremely tough, because by that time, the defense already knows that it's a run, so you'll have all the linebackers, all the safeties, all the corners crashing in. So being able to still pick up 5 yards a carry is actually very impressive and a difficult thing to do if we're talking about the course of a game or the course of a season. Now, let's get into the 5th and final reason: agility and elusiveness. Now, like I said before, if you're a student of the game and if you watch the game on a consistent basis and watch this guy play, you'll know what I'm talking about. The way he's able to cut up the field, shoot his gaps, and change direction are crazy when we're talking about a running back of his size. A lot of people are comparing him to Barry Sanders. Now, you know, if we're talking about from a hype standpoint, I understand why. But You know, if we give him a couple more years to mature, get some more experience under his belt, I really do feel like he'll be a top running back in this game and will end up being a Hall of Famer. Now, looking in on this season, I honestly believe he should get Rookie of the Year. If he doesn't, the only other player that should is Patrick Mahomes. But if we're going to put everything into perspective, Patrick Mahomes was put into a system that has been consistently good throughout the last couple seasons, defensively and offensively. Even though his stat line is crazy, he hasn't made as much progress as Saquon Barkley has with the Giants, because the Giants, that we all know, has been a struggling team for the last couple seasons. And the last 2 seasons, they have gone through some injury problems with their best receiver. So when Odell gets healthy, Saquon stays healthy, the run game gets better, I feel like the Giants will be a serious contender in the league. Now that's it for this video, you guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you would, drop a like to the video and subscribe to the channel. And in the comment section below, tell me who you think is going to win the Rookie of the Year award, and drop what team you rock with in the NFL. Until next time, peace out. Now, before I forget, if anybody on my channel likes WWE videos, shoe reviews, or music reviews, go check out RC3ENT. That's my dog, Robert. He did give me a shout out in one of his videos, which has boosted some of my viewers, and I'd like to return the favor to him. His Twitter and Instagram handle will be in the description below. But until next time, I'm out.
Bipolar with the check. I just put some crazy around my neck. Go crazy with your ex. I just might go crazy with my bitch. Bipolar with the check. I just put some crazy around my neck.